just to make sure that we all have the same impression regarding digital transformation. This event is going live to all of you. The event itself, it's going to be separated in 4 different parts. So to start, we'll have here today our CEO, Marcus. He's going to talk to all of us a little bit about SenhaSegura history and also a few informations regarding privileged access management, PAM. Then moving forward, we will have Nelson talking about digital transformation and the DevOps market potential. But unfortunately, as we all know, at this point, we are all going through a pandemic all over the world. And yesterday, Nelson was diagnosed with COVID-19. So just to be sure that he's as safe as possible and he's taking care of himself at this point right now, so he can get as healthy as possible, as soon as possible. We will also have Marcus to step into his shoes and present that information to all of you. Moving forward, we'll have Diego with us. He's going to take you through a DevSecOps journey so you can have a better understanding of what you should do on your ending to actually implement a DevSecOps methodology. And to close the day today, we'll have Davidson here with us, talking and showing and sharing with all of you a bit of the DevOps secrets management use case, our DSM module of the solution. So to kick off our international conference today, I will leave you with Marcus to talk about, as I said, SenhaSegura and also PAM. Enjoy your event, and if you have any questions, just reach out by our Q&A option here, okay? Have a great event. Marcus? I think his
page. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Great, Rogério. Thank you for the introduction. Welcome, everybody. Good to talk to you today. And let me understand how I share my video, I'm just facing a few. Just a second. One minute, guys. I'm facing a little technical issues with my video.
Well, we gotta cut him some slack. Like I said, we're streaming from Brazil and it's just about 4 a.m. in the morning here. So, and since it's a live event, this sort of thing can happen.
Vai, liga a sua câmera.
Oh, yes. Now, guys, I'm back with video, not just sound. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you and hear clearly, Marcus.
Okay, great. Now we can move ahead. Great to talk to you. Thank you, Rogério. Great to talk to everybody this morning. We are in the morning 4 a.m. as Rogério said, with a lot of pleasure to share with you the news about SenhaSegura and our new model called DevSecOps, DevOps, SenhaSegura DSM. And today I'm going to share with you more than that a few impressions we have about the market, but also our history and the opportunities we have on the market about DevSecOps. Also, I received the notes yesterday night that Nelson was diagnosed with COVID-19. So today I'm going to host the second presentation also to share a little information about the marketing trends and how we can go in these opportunities and leverage our business together with our partners to deliver to the clients the best security approach in terms of privileged access for DevOps and other opportunities we have. Right? I think my sounds clear. Okay, just let me check here. It's okay.
Yeah, just speak a little louder, Marcos, if you could. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Thanks for it.
All right, so moving ahead, I would like to thank you everybody for being part of our SenhaSegura conference. And we are very proud to be with you today and to thank you for all the journey we have done together from the beginning to now. And I'm aware that all of you are already part of this history. So I will share a little points about our history, but also I would like to say that from the beginning of the year to now, we have to adapt ourselves to work in a remote way to guarantee that we could not only keep safe our employees, our teams, their families, and our partners, but also provide the customers the best service we could to guarantee they continues to have the same quality of services. And right now I can say to you that we are completely adapt for this new phase the moment are facing, right? So moving ahead, I would like to share with you a first impression about digital transformation. In the next presentation, I will share a lot of numbers about it to give more reality about what's happening, the idea, the size of this transformation. But right now, what I would like to keep in mind is that digital transformations is bringing a lot of pressures to IT technology teams. Digital transformations made innovations as a core part of the process and the strategy, right? And as part of the strategy, innovation requires a lot of agility, a lot of time, fastness to deliver the key components to solve business strategy. And that brings a lot of pressures to cybersecurity, since we have to change the business very fast in order to live or die. But at the same time, we need to be safe. And with this growth of the number of attacks, cybersecurity has been challenged by innovation. So it's a kind of conflict between cybersecurity, innovation speed, and that brings a lot of pressures and increase the relevance of credential around all this process. And the second point I would like to share with you is about COVID-19 and its change. After COVID-19, we start to see a lot of new cybersecurity incidents, not for new kind of attacks, but for old ones that are growing very fast based on the home office adoption. So with COVID-19, we have grown from a few employees running from home to most all of the employees from our companies running from home. So this brought a new scenario with new risks and a new challenge for cybersecurity. Again, we see a new challenger for cybersecurity. And I would like to share with you this graph that shows the number of brute forces RDP attacks over remote office connections. All this looks to privileged credentials and try to force brute the connection RDP from remote for remote home offices. So it's 5 times bigger exactly in the moment when the isolation started in the Western. So we see a lot of old attacks come back and pressure again cybersecurity. In this case, specifically using remote connections and targeting privileged credentials, as privileged credentials are the start point to lateral movement inside any attack. And at least to understand the context we are living for cybersecurity, we are in the privacy area. And the privacy area comes a lot of new regulations, new fines, and again, challenges the cybersecurity team. Cybersecurity team needs to address all the needs to protect private data. And that is a new trend and a new pressure for cybersecurity. With this in mind, we have fast digital transformation accelerated by COVID-19, a lot of home offices chains. So the employees moving to home, creating new challenges in privacy area, bringing new regulations and the highest fines we have ever seen. So that's a completely new scenario. It's part of SenhaSegura works to prevent and to avoid any kind of situations that led a business to fragility or damage its sovereignty. And after seeing all this and all this pressure, I would like to stop a little bit and come back to my presentation to talk about our history. And before I start, I'd like to share our team. I don't know, I think you didn't have opportunity to see our face we have here, but we have, well, I am still receiving a message. My sound is not clear yet, right? I will talk later. Can you check? I think now the sound's better, right?
Yeah, we can hear Marcus. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right, and so here's our team. We are about 100 people, working hardly, completely focused and deliver the best product in the world. We are doing a lot of job. We have most of all our engineer completely focused on deliver the best cybersecurity product, protect companies against malicious attacks, malicious abuse. And before we be this team working, also include you and partners around the world. We started just two, me, Marcus, and my partner Artur, and we founded a tech company in 2001. And this tech company started to work basically on automation, cybersecurity, and other cybersecurity and automation systems for networks, critical infrastructure, critical mission systems. And then in 2013, we discovered that the first project that privileged access management could be a good target for us to focus and to deliver, to create a great product. Since then, we developed our mission that's to eliminate privilege abuse. So when we understood that privileged access management would be our focus, we decide, okay, we need to eliminate privilege abuse. And that's our goal. That's where we are heading. That's what we wake up every morning and look to solve. That's the problem we are aiming to solve. And to understand a little bit about our history, I would come back to 2012 when the first time we have opportunity to start several PAM projects, but not as a product, as a project. So, and then in 2013, after testing the marketing, we went to talk to many clients. We understood that all this was about PAM, and then we decided to launch the SenhaSegura brand and platform, not as a product itself, but as a platform to grow and scale and to allow customers to come from one single users to more than 10,000 users with more than one single devices to more than 100,000 devices in the same platform, and also prepared to the future to create and to receive new models. Then in 2014, we had our first official contract under the SenhaSegura's brand. In 2015, we realized that we could accelerate our growth, and we started to grow regionally and Latin America, mostly in Brazil, to achieve 400% growth in 2016, and also been listed in the Gartner and the market guide. So at that moment, we were already known by Gartner. We have a strong growth in Brazil, and then we realized that we could grow outside Brazil. In 2017, we were named Tech Leaders by Computing Code. In 2018, we were named Visionary by Gartner. And it's important to remember that this, in 2018, was the first Magic Quadrant from Gartner to PAM. In 2019, we continues to grow very fast. We grow a lot, about 9% growth, and start our global expansion and achieved more than 30 countries with partners around the world to deliver and support SenhaSegura. And at the end, in 2000 and this year, we are having a very specific growth, keeping our growth consistent, and we have spent for more than 10 countries. So today we are in 40 countries, and we became Gartner's challengers, and with new Magic Quadrant. And to share with you this Magic Quadrant and a few points, I need to to I need to understand to show here. That's the magic quadrant, and SenhaSegura is listed here as challenger. And a key point you could think about is that why are not we are not leaders? And the reason is very simple. This year, Gartner has changed the criteria to be a leader, and they put a number of regional presence, the number of outside your region, the number of customers, the number of partners outside your main region, that in our case is Latin America. And that's why we are challenged. If not, if we could just consider a product or technology, as you see in the next slide, we would be a leader. And that gave us a lot of confidence to continue to go ahead, moving to be a leader in the next Magic Quadrant. And also it's very important to mention that from the last quadrant in 2018, 12, we have a reduced number of partners, so a reduced number of vendors in the Magic Quadrant. So we could not grow in terms of ability to execute, but be kept in the Magic Quadrant. That was really great. Now we are moving ahead and looking to be a leader in the next MQ. To show how our product today, we're going to learn today, is really well done and with a lot of good features. If you go to the Gartner critical capabilities, that's a new report. That's a new report for PAN that was launched this year. And what it does, it creates a classification from the products based only on technical features. And if you look only to technical features, you'll see that SenhaSegura DSCM, this new product we are launched today, is highlighted as the second among PAM vendors and third on overall ranking. So if you remove, if you look only to the PAM vendors, we were the second place among the PAM vendors. So that show how our product is strong and how our products can address the needs of the market based on the use cases that Gartner points as. If you need to have access to this report, you can go to our website and download this report. It's available in your website, right? There. Moving ahead and putting all together, we show our presence around the world. We are available for partners in more than 40 countries today. And we are available for all industries. What's very interesting, because PAN is a product that addresses needs from all industries. Sometimes I receive questions, which industry fits for PAN? And the answer is every kind of industry. So here we have customers in healthcare, in finance, manufacturing, fintechs, government, technology, education, and all. So PAN is a product that we can leverage and we can take to as many clients as we can from all kind of verticals, right? That makes PAN a great opportunity for us to continue to invest in partners to grow and develop the commercial opportunities. And to give you a little bit about our product vision and continue our looking to the future, I would like to share with you what is PAN about. What is this about at the end of the day? So PAN is about preventing privilege hacking, preventing data leakage, and being compliant with the regulations. PAN is about guaranteeing the cyber sovereignty of a company. And if you look in a cybersecurity perspective, when we talk about PAN, we are talking about stopping and targeting attacks, mitigating cyber threats, optimize operations, secure the infrastructure, virtual clouds, on-premises environments, and then protect DevOps pipeline. That's part of what we are talking today. So that's what we see when we talk about PAN looking to cybersecurity. But when we move to the compliance, we can see GDPR, PCI DSS, SOX, NIST, and EPA. And as these regulations evolve, managing privilege acts become a core point of the compliance regulations. So PAN is not only about creating the best rules of cybersecurity and the highest patterns of cybersecurity procedures, but also be in compliance with the main regulations that allow business to be classified as a safer business and a more prepared business that create a differential. So PAN is very, very relevant today, and it's #1 demand for most of cybersecurity strategies. And when I look to PAN, it's very important to understand what is a privileged credential. And if you look to humans, when we talk about privileged credentials, we are talking about local administrative accounts, domain admin accounts, privileged users, and VIP accounts. So talking about PAN, looking to the humans is about managing privileged credentials for humans in all these scenarios. But that's not all. We can have more than that. We can have machines and applications, and machines and applications already have their own privileged credentials. They have service account, they have applications credentials, they have DevOps credentials and DevOps secrets. And here I will stop a little bit to explain what's the difference from a credential for a DevOps secrets and why Gartner has created a completely new set of functionalities and use cases to DevOps. When we talk about DevOps, we are talking about the agility to create, develop, and deploy applications. And with this comes a lot of new features like secrets. Secrets are a key component of this process of creating, developing, and delivering application, and they are inside applications and they have too many different secrets. Secrets is a kind of relevant information that is more complex than a password or than a credential, with a lot of fields more than just a credential and password, but they need to be kept in secret. And they are inside the code, they are inside the pipeline, and need to protect the pipeline. And it's very important to protect the secrets as a privileged credential, as a privileged secret. Also, the secrets go through a pipeline, this DevOps belt, and we need to protect it. Not only the applications with the secrets, but the belt and the process itself. So when I talk about DevOps credential, DevOps secrets, we are talking about a new set of things that need to be protected, and that is growing very fast. We will see in a few technologies how it's growing in the next presentation, right? So when we understand that we have the reason why PAN exists and the types of credentials, and we can look to the PAN evolution. And here I start to look ahead and look to the future and share with you our vision. And PAN started as just password access. So at the beginning, PAN was about managing password access. Then we moved to controller password access. And after that, we remove the password and give to the end user a privileged session, and then start to manage application security. That's when we were mostly focused on human. We had a lot of human, we had few humans with a huge set of privileges. But now, with this new change, we have created a machine. We are facing what we call in SenhaSegura machine era. So machines and applications require new privileges. They require us to be connected to others. And that brought for us a lot of new challenges for the marketing, for the companies. So we start from privileged task and management, then privileged automation gateway, manage the gateway to allow access for this application. And then we move to cloud and cybersecurity, security for cloud and access. But with these came a whole set of problems that we call the credential explosion. Through all these applications, APIs, integration, system, hardware, and IoT from all industries, we have tremendous demands for managing credentials. And this is for DevOps, secret management, cloud access, and API identity. That's a core movement, stack movements that are pulling and credential explosion. So with this in mind, I would like to go deeper into the DevOps. That's the key reason we are here today, to share our new product of DevOps. And what is DevOps about? We have seen the evolution of PAN and how IoT, DevOps, and new trends brought a lot of challenge in terms of credential. But when you go deeper to DevOps, we see that we have 5 different pillars in DevOps. And I would like to go understand DevOps is not a culture, DevOps is not a tool, DevOps is all together. It's people, process, governance, tools, and this kind of, and all these things together. But I would like to highlight 3 of them. And the first one I would highlight was the people. So people in DevOps, they have to change their habits, they have to change their thinking to be part of the process of development. So in DevOps culture, we have more and more people developing scripting, create integrations, and create situations where these kind of people need privileged credentials. So that's, again, precious, the privileged credential explosion. Then we have process. Process and DevOps are much different from what we had before DevOps. So process requires a lot of integrations, and these integrations require more and more privileged credentials. So to keep this process safe, we need to protect these privileged credentials. And at least we have tools. In DevOps world, we have more than 100 different tools, literally 100 different tools. And all these tools can be combined together in different ways. Each tool can be used differently from another client, so we can have the same tool being used as different from another client, but also they can connect each other in a different way. So every time you move to a DevOps scenario and want to protect this environment, you need a strong product to help you to map all these connections and solve these credential issues. So all these chains based on DevOps culture as a result from the innovation strategy demands at the end of the day privileged credential explosion and privileged credentials care. So when we talk about DevOps, we are trying our SenhaSegura DSM, we came to solve this issue, this new credential explosions driven by innovation, driven by DevOps culture. And to understand how this is today, we estimated that we have about 300 billion passwords being managed right now. And this number intends to grow. We expect this number to grow more than 20 times in the next 5 years. So we're going to have explosion of passwords. Although we are developing new methods of identity, we still have credentials for applications, secrets, APIs. So the number of passwords and credentials should expand a lot more than 300 billion in the next years, right? And moving to the end of my presentation, I'd like to consolidate what we have seen today as our product vision and the main components we have. And to put it in one phrase, I could say our main goal, our product vision, is to consolidate human and machine privilege access into one single platform that address the future needs, striving to be the best product in the world. As I mentioned, we have humans and machines, and we need to manage these credentials. We want to put it as, we have already put it as in one single platform, and this platform should be prepared to grow to the future, to scale with this new amount of credentials we will see, and to manage it all together, giving a business visibility to decision makers to make it their life easier, to improve cybersecurity. But more than that, we are ambitious and we intend to be the best product in the world. As I have showed to you, we are today in the third position when it talks to DSM, and the second position as, again, the PAM vendors. So we are very confident we will achieve this in the next years and will be the best product in the world. But understanding the strategies behind the product, we have main key four key components to deliver this product strategy. And our goal is to be the fast time to value, to help customers to achieve cybersecurity very fast. And the first key point is turnkey. So when you say a turnkey product, you're talking a product that's complete. They have all his models inside. You don't need to buy any extra software. So in our case, our platforms comes with database, web services, integrated high availability, and other functions that come inside the software. And for the client, it doesn't require him to buy any extra software. The second point I'd like to share with you is the fast deploy. It's very common when we go to the client, they are hurried, they need to deploy fast. And that's why we design our product to be very fast to deploy. So it's fast deploy, we can deploy and can go to website and check that we can deploy our product in 7 minutes in a specific situation, showing how fast we can deploy. And every year we have a competition internal to test and how fast we can deploy the product. So we are very driven to fast deploy in order to address the customers and the client's needs. Easy to adopt is the third key point I'd like to share with you. And easy to adopt is very, very critical, since if you have a product that you don't use because you don't learn, you have a strong, a difficult current learning curve, is very difficult. You don't use all the potential of the product, and you don't get all the security that you buy. So in what? So it's very, we are driven to make it very, very easy to learn. And we have put in a lot of efforts in documentations and informations. And as we have launched our SenhaSegura Academy, a completely full certification process to train and make it easy to install, to deploy, but most of all, to teach users to learn and to adopt the product. And at least be future ready. What does future ready mean? Is that when we are developing product, we are not looking for today, but we are looking 3 to 4 years ahead to understand how we can move our platform or environment to address future needs in order to make your client safe and understand that, okay, I have a product, be prepared for the future, that I will have new functionalities in one single platform, making my decision take easier because I have all this integrated. So that's the key product strategies pillars we have and how we drive our innovation. And to understand the deployment process, today we can deliver this product and private cloud and public cloud and appliance in VMware, Citrix, Hyper-V, any kind of public cloud, Amazon, AWS, Google. We are looking now to AliExpress and AliCloud, and we also have appliance for physical situations. Sometimes it's still necessary to have a hardenized appliance, and we have a strong hardware appliance with HSM and other cryptographic features for specific customers or clients. And then we have the SaaS. We already have SaaS running in production in Latin America, and we aim to launch in 2021, and you have more information on that at the beginning of the year, how we get a launch SaaS version of SenhaSegura and its platform, right? And to put in summary all we have talked today, we came from the digital transformation and trend to cybersecurity, moving toward history, then saw a little bit about our product strategy and vision, and then with an alliance with our capability to deliver the product in almost every environment. So what we would like to remember from this presentation, that we are a tech company. We are in the business more than 20 years, in PAM market 8 years. We are completely focused on that. And we are completely committed to future profiting, to invest in solutions, to develop in technology, to become a leader in Gartner, and based on the business channel model. So we truly understand that having a good relation with partner, developing, creating investments to deliver a better services, a better support for partners will be core of our strategy, and we have a better way to make our business grow with you, to all our business grow together. And with this in mind, we understand as I tried to show you that we have a great moment in the history, that the explosion, credential explosion is rising, and we can address this. And with SenhaSegura, we together are prepared to face the situations and leverage over this great opportunity the market having. So I expect you to understand and to see this opportunity. We see a huge opportunity, and I will talk to you a little bit more in the next presentation. So I hope everybody's fine, and if you have questions, I will take pleasure to answer your questions. You can send it in the chat, and then we have, I believe, 5 minutes to answer a few questions before I move to the next presentation. Okay?
Yes, that was awesome, Marcus. Thanks a lot for it. And until we get our first question here regarding the content that you just pointed out, I want to ask you something. Do you feel that a company that's like a tech company, for instance, if they are just applying now the DevOps methodology, should they start, from your point of view, should they start by working with the team itself in order to create a DevOps team, and then after that they should start looking into security? Or would that be the other way around? Should they be concerned about security and then move to DevOps? What's your idea and point of view regarding that? Should that be, a company should do that, is everything combined at the same time? How do you think that a company, based on what you just said, should address security if they already have that the DevOps team, or if they're just about to start with that methodology inside of the company itself?
Right. Well, that's an interesting question. We have a lot of movement happening in the marketing, and from beginning in an innovation perspective, DevOps has started to grow a few years from 3 to 4 years ago. It started to grow. So I would say that most of the companies that will adopt DevOps, that use DevOps, they have already adopted DevOps for many years. But at the same time, we talk about privacy by design and security by design. That means when you start a new project, you start a new development, doesn't matter what it is, you should put security, cybersecurity in the center of it. So I would say, if you will start something from now, I would bring cybersecurity from the beginning and put teams work to understand that cybersecurity is not something that you can, it's an option, but it's necessary. It's a core functionality of the system. And to make clear, if you have a situation like you have developed an application that you didn't take care of DevOps and security managers, then you have a leakage of data based on the fragility of application. This will be very, very, very risky and will cause a lot of damage. So I truly believe that if you're starting a new team, you should bring security from beginning based on the principle of security by design.
Yeah, I like that, security by design. So you start designing with a security approach. That's to say the least, it's quite smart, right? We have a question here, Marcus, for you, and the question is about SenhaSegura. Like, as throughout your presentation, you've shown that SenhaSegura has growth quite a lot in the past few years. And the question here is that, is SenhaSegura able to maintain the same growth throughout 2020 and 2021? Do you think that the company is still going to grow as fast as it has been in the past?
Yes. Yes, thank you for the question. And yes, this year has been a great year. As I mentioned at the beginning, that's all about cybersecurity pressure. We see at the beginning of the year with the COVID-19, we were a little bit worried about how it's going to be. And I think all the world was worried about it. But right now, at the end of the year, we are very happy with the results we have already happened. We have kept this growth I have mentioned from this year. And we are very clear that this year is going to be a great year with great growth. For the next year, we are planning growth stronger yet than this year, and we are very confident that we'll do. And also, we have plans to grow faster for the next 5 years. So we are very committed with raising funds and making the company grow faster and faster, and scale the company to keep this not the same height, but a bigger height than you have seen.
That's great. Great news and great to hear. Looking forward to it. I think that's it, Marcus, regarding the first part of our event. Yeah, I think we're good with the questions. So feel free to move on to the second stage.
Okay, I will turn off my camera a little bit. Just move on. Right. Questions. Okay. Right. Now we have Nelson presentation, and I will do Nelson presentation. You know, he sent a lot of welcome to you. Said unfortunately he can't do the presentation today, but I will hold it, and let's move ahead. Right. I hope I can perform the same. He's very funny and happy, but I will try to do my best. Right.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning to everyone, to those that weren't here, unfortunately, Nelson was diagnosed yesterday with COVID-19. That's why Marcus is stepping into his shoes right now.
Yes. Just a second. My battery, is ending. I need to put it. And just to prepare. Right. Okay, let's move ahead, and I will play as Nelson presentation. And the Nelson presentation was about digital transformation, DevOps market potential. So we had opportunity to talk a little bit about digital transformation and how it's going to impact the cybersecurity life. And now we're going to bring here numbers to show how this market is growing, how fast it's growing, and the huge opportunities we have. So let's move ahead. Sure. The first thing that also has selected for us to show is that we have the global economy at the end of the day and another note. So we see that GDP growth is really going down and down. And with this COVID-19, we're gonna lowest more than that. So that's a clear message that the global economy is in a kind of moving down. But if you look to that, we could think, okay, as a business opportunity, we have a problem. But when we start to look to another indicators, just how Microsoft Teams jumps the use of Roam after the COVID, we see you have exponential growth, achieving 7.5 million of users just in very, very, very fast and after COVID. So we see a lot of change. And as I have talked before, the home office adoptions has changed everything. That brings to us a lot of opportunities. And in SenhaSegura, we keep very excited because every type of movement we see, huge change is a great opportunity and a great opportunity for cybersecurity for us and for our partners to deliver products to help clients to be safer. Also, already the cloud computing is another indicator we track here, and we'll see from 2015 to 2020 we have grown more about 3 times than the spending in cloud computing. And right now we have new indicators that show that cloud computing has exploded since COVID-19, and we have completely changed the mindset related to cloud. And that's why we move it from cloud this year, and we will release in the rest of the world next year. Then we have Amazon's cloud. Again, we see a 9 times growth in less than 5 years. There is strong commitment growth showing that cloud's business is really strong and growing. Right, and that brings a lot of opportunity. As I mentioned before, every time when we move to the cloud, we have a new challenge in cybersecurity. Managing security in the cloud is completely different from on-premises and bring new concepts and need new products. And where we are working hard to address cybersecurity problems in cloud together with our DSM solution. And when you look to Microsoft, also you see it's tremendous growth, 8 times in 5 years. So tremendous growth in technology, this trend in Microsoft, right? When you look to product growth, you see that we have the growth rate. You go into Azure, in each different products coming, and all this product base, and you see that Azure has grown more than other products. So gaming and other kind of product has not grown so fast as cloud. So again, you see a lot of demand for cloud, and not only cloud itself, but the kind of product that runs in cloud creates a new mentality through this, right? When it comes to cloud wars, you see we have in the first quarter of 2020, we have Microsoft with 30 billion cloud revenue, AWS 10 million, and Google Cloud 2.8 billion. So growth rate, very, very high growth rate for this business. And to understand and to bring this, why are we pointing in the cloud? Because cloud is the core component for DevOps, where we get to deliver the DSM and again address these needs of the market through DSM. And to look to the global market of DevOps, we see that it's expected to reach by $10 billion in 2023, with a growth rate of about 18% compound aggregated growth rate. So it's a lot of growth, it's a lot of expansion, and too much money, $10 billion in one single market. And that's the market we are pursuing with the SEM. We are part of this market in the cybersecurity, but its market is growing very fast, which creates a great opportunity for the SEM, right? And if you look to the DevOps market, we still can see in 2016, moving ahead from 2013 to 2012, we can see 7 billion. So we have a lot of DevOps solutions. We have a lot of DevSecOps solutions. And DevSec solutions is part of this market, and where the SEM will work together. If you look to container, that's a core component of DevSecOps. We see the growth of containers. So 2010 to 2022, we have a 30.8 CIGR, and then we have grown the span of containers from $1.1 billion in 2017 to $4.3 billion. So containers itself, as part of the DevOps culture, is growing fast, 4 times in 5 years. So again, this is tremendous growth with 30.8 growth rate, a compounded growth rate is a great for containers. That is part of the technology that is core for DevOps, and it will require much and much more digital certificates, secrets management, DevOps management. And moving ahead, we have this. What is the how the companies embrace the DevOps, right? And you see that only 17% of the companies, coming back to the Rogério's questions, have addressed DevOps yet. And majority of the teams, the main companies, are really practicing DevOps, 13%. And here you see the huge trends. And we have companies with few teams involved in DevOps. So DevOps is a culture that is already being available in our companies in different situations. So you can see that it's already part of the game, is already part of the need, and we need to protect DevOps and DevOps infrastructure with managing credentials and security as a key part of security by design. And if you look to the adoption of your organization to containers as a key part of DevOps, you see that 170% of the companies have addressed 100 full adoption across the organization with 100 adoption. 32% of the companies have some adoption at some level. So again, containers, 70% has already full adopt containers, and 30% will adopt it. And at least we have 20% in proof of concept technology. So managing containers and secrets in containers are really a movement that's happening, and we need to be prepared to use this moment in favor of us to help clients to make their infrastructure secure. It's a reality, right? And what about the top obstacles to cybersecurity, to DevOps implementing? So the first one is the complexity, and the complexity is very interesting because when you look to complexity, you understand that security will be complex because the environment is complex. As I have mentioned, we have 5 key components in DevOps culture, and all these components demands a kind of complexity, right? The second point that comes here is with 38% of the concerns is the roles and responsibility across DevOps not aligned. As we have deployed DevOps, DevSecOps, DSM in DevOps pipeline, DevOps teams, we have learned this in practice. We have a lot of experience dealing with this situation, and you see that it's really, really complex to divide the roles, the responsibilities. That's why when we developed the product, we thought about that. How could you clarify the secrets, responsibilities, and help customers and help clients to achieve the best of security, but understand the process that need to go from when he has the DevOps team, he needs to go from team that doesn't work with DevSecOps with a DSM solutions. So this, it's not a magic point. You need to do a journey, and Diego will share with you the journey we'll do to help customers and share a lot of our experiences during this process. That's the second concern. And at least I would like to share with you security and compliance concern. So security is one of the main concerns related to DevOps, and a great opportunity for us to address this with SenhaSegura, the SCM, and create value for the final end users, right? And coming to the end, I would like to share that never before, as I have mentioned in the beginning, we have privacy laws, new privacy fines, and this as we have here a few numbers. See, we have the highest fines ever in the market for technology based on this, and most of the time the fines are regulated, are measured by the number of investment you have done in cybersecurity. So in order to avoid a huge fine or to have a bigger trouble than the image damage, if you have a strong commitment to cybersecurity, strong cybersecurity approach, you can avoid fines. So that's a lot. Again, comes back to what I have showed before, that this pressure of privacy and regulations come back to cybersecurity, and it will drive, and we are very enthusiastic here with the growth of cybersecurity market in the next year. So we have a great opportunity, and I finalize here this Nelson presentation, expecting you I'm ready to take questions if you have, to share my impressions. And if you no more, I think the point here is that we have a great opportunities. The numbers show the opportunities of the market, the change in the market, and with change create opportunities with investments and budgets they are spending in cybersecurity. We see we have a great opportunity to leverage SenhaSegura and the SCM in this environment. So I open for questions.
Yeah, well, thanks for that as well, Marcus. You stepped into Nelson's shoes as the last time resource because you needed to, and you did it great. Numbers are very impressive, and well, it gets you thinking. And as far as question goes here, we have a first question here. I hope I pronounce the name correctly. So it's from Gassan. And the question is, if those numbers that you just showed regarding the fines related to the GDPR in Europe, are they cumulative, like from the last year, 2019? Are they related to only 2020? Do you know where those, you know, the number that you just showed, are they related to what year? Is it cumulated since the start? The question is about where the whole amount comes from.
Okay, thank you for the question. I will say Gasson, I hope it's right, okay? But well, these numbers were about just 2019, it's not accumulated. And okay, yes, I pronounced correct. Right, thank you, Gaston. And well, this numbers was just from 2019. We have a new numbers from 2020. We didn't mention it here, but I can share with you these numbers after the presentation, right? But they are growing very fast.
Yeah, I think in this manner, I can jump in here with you as well. Just the top, as far as I'm concerned, as I've heard recently, just the top 5 fines in 2020 accumulated, they already reached the whole amount of that we had in 2019. So it has been growing quite fast, and it's quite impressive. So when you get a little bit scared when you see numbers like this, you probably should be a bit scared, if not a lot. And I think from, let me see here. Yeah, there's no new questions, Marcus. And as you were showing the numbers here, I couldn't help thinking about, you know, when you talk about DevOps, and as you just showed here, the numbers are quite high. You kind of get the sensation of, you know, companies are doing it because they want to be more agile regarding their development process, right? So they want to be able to offer and present new features and new functionalities on a daily basis, because, you know, competition it's quite high everywhere in the world. But if you want to do something very fast as you grow, your security, if they're not being taken care of, you open up a agenda or a space to, be a part of a cyber attack or things like that. Does that make sense to you? So as we see the numbers of, companies using cloud services with a fast increase of numbers over the past 5 years, do you also feel that, as far as security goes, the companies are way more sustainable to like suitable to cyber attacks? Does this feeling of, insecurity also grows as fast as they're adopting cloud? Or this is just something that I'm feeling and it's really not the case?
Yes. Well, I think it's a very interesting footing. We could talk a lot about that. But the first thing is that, okay, if you want to be agile, you need to be fast. And to be fast makes it difficult to make things safer. That's why we have been developing, and the market has been developed, a DevSecOps approach in order to allow applications to be developed very fast with all the security procedures to guarantee security by design for all innovations that are being developed very fast. So I think we have a few approaches to that, but it's really, really about complexity, because innovations, when I can share with you a big case we have in Latin America. We have a 3.5 billion company revenue company based on e-commerce. They release at the Black Friday will happen next. I think it's next Friday, right? And they release more than 500 new release of software during the Black Friday night. So it's something that was imaginable before. And before DevOps, we would think, okay, 1 month before Black Friday, stop all the change in the environment. But that's not more possible. If you want to be a competitive business, you need to adapt very fast. So changing the infrastructure, changing the applications is real time right now. So when you look to complexity, you will see the challenge that is to do that. That's why we have seen a lot of cybersecurity incidents right now, because the pressure for innovations is really, really strong. And we see this in practice when we go to the customers. Although they are trying to deploy cybersecurity inside the pipeline, they are trying to implement, that requires a lot of refactoring, changing cultures, defining roles and principles, and all this comes to human process and at the same time to the pressure for innovation. So it's a very, very difficult situations, and managing these situations make it's not easy to solve these questions. But the good response is that first, security has become a priority. So every time every place we go, we see that cybersecurity has become a priority. They start to talking. I believe the numbers show the relevance of this, but we still have a lot to learn how to do cybersecurity in this agile environment. And since I believe innovation is becoming it's becoming faster, so the velocity of changes are growing. We are not changing at the same speed. We are changing faster and faster each time. And look to what COVID-19 has made to the world. We have strong change. Cybersecurity is becoming more important, but at the same time more difficult. And that means we have a great opportunity to address these needs and help clients to go through this. And I hope Diego, you see the journey based on our experience of many clients related to DevOps, how this journey happened and how the customers travel from the beginning when they have just DevOps to a DevSecOps scenario.
That's awesome. So now that we understand the size of the problem, as you said, Diego is going to point out the path, right? She's going to share with them the map on how to get to the best place as far as DevSecOps goes. That's great. Thanks a lot, Mark, for that. I think we're good. There's no other new questions here, Marcus. So I think now we can move on to the third part of our conference here today. And the word is yours, Diego. Go ahead.
Right. Bye-bye, guys. Have a nice presentation.
Hello, everybody. Can you see me and
Hi,
hear me?
Diego. Yeah.
Go, move on. Wait a moment, I share my screen.
Well, Marcus just said that you're going to show everyone the map to DevSecOps. So your responsibility is quite high now.
All right. So, can you see my screen holder?
Yeah. You're good to go.
So let's go. Hi guys, my name is Diego and I am a product manager at SenhaSegura. So today I will talk about the DevSecOps journey. Yeah. So, and Marcos, bring it to us the market numbers about increased security IT and technology area, and show some topics about the culture and challenges over DevOps. So the next step is understand where we put security into this culture, yeah. And I tell you about the transformation, the DevOps to DevSecOps. So guys, aim to accelerate the business growth, the agile culture was born. Yeah, developers started to create smaller solutions, but more frequently, result in the necessity of doing constant deploys in the product environment. Yeah. So, however, the operational team keeps it responsibility to guarantee a stable environment with a few changes, creates a conflict of interests between these two areas. Yes? But as the most important thing is the business goal, both teams start to work together, finding ways to solve these, establish these problems, and keep the development agile through automations. Yeah, creating this culture, we call it DevOps, where both teams work as one. So DevOps culture came to create an eternal cycle where teams work together, but it's one team with their own responsibility and this and the segregation between areas. Yeah, as we can observe in this image, the DevOps concept is to automation communication between each steps create an endless cycle of software evolution. So DevOps leaders deliver software 200 more frequently than their peers with this culture using the DevOps culture. Yeah. And as we can see on this slide, there are a lot of tools to help each of part of the DevOps cycle being common to use, even more than one in each step. Every day, a new tool or a new automation is created to accelerate even more development of products. Yeah. But however, all this has a consequence. If it's not done well, if it's not designed for security, it's end up causing leakage. Yeah, thousands of access keys and credentials are leaked on every single day on GitHub, on GitLab. Yeah, weekly we can see leakage of database password or cloud access credential in that all universe. So based on these guys, our journey begins. Yeah. And the question about this journey is who is our hero on this journey? Yeah. Is the security team. This is a call for our journey. This is a call for the security team in your journey. Yeah. The business is growing so fast, guys. The infrastructure and development teams run and are serving the business, but we have a problems and leakage fails. So how does the security teams answer this call? The first thing is understand, guys, the agility of the business is you need to understand about this process. Yeah, you need to understand that with DevOps, product development teams have become the protagonists on these scenarios. Now, the business, the developer, and the infrastructure teams are working together to make decisions, and the security team has to be together on this. It cannot create obstruction on these development scenarios, yeah, on the development cycle. The second thing about this call is the increase in the attack surface. Now new tools, new process, and automated belt have significantly increased the surface, yeah? generate a new points of vulnerability. The third thing, guys, is everything now has a code, everything has an adaptation, and the security team has to be adapted to this reality of DevOps. Security needs to create a new models like security as a code. Security now participates actively in this code creation, but not to develop a software or develop the application yet, but just keep them safe. And finally, guys, um, we are credentials along this track, some credentials along this track, guys. And control has changed. The management of this credential has changed. Before the DevOps, you had people and devices to manage it, managing people access. Yeah. Now we have code against secrets, and this secret is a great villain on this journey. This secret is spreading everywhere, and the secret spreading everywhere is the call for our journey. So then the security teams enters in the parallel belt with the development process to assist in the creation of applications quickly, but safe by default is a protection on this environment. Yeah, you keep delivery applications quickly, yeah, but now you create a fast and secure applications to help your growth business. So, well, to start our journey, I bring here 8 steps for you. The first step is companies, you need a partner, a technological partner who takes your hand and say, let's move on. Let's bring security to this DevOps belt. And for that, it's not enough just to install a plugin or software or an application. Yeah? You need an excellent product like the one we are launching today, but you need know-how from the expertise of the experience of those who now to implement that have really done this work in many places, because the traps of this journey we are really now, and then contribute it so that you can implement this journey without wasting a time or without wasting a money or without her work on this track. Yeah, the SenhaSegura our network partner are here today to offer to this you. Yeah. We are going to make this journey together. So the first step on this journey is take a partner. So what is the villain of this journey, guys? Remember, I told you the famous villain is a secret, yeah? And what is the secret on these scenarios? So we're so used to just speaking about password, credentials, and now we speak just a secret, about secrets in everywhere. Because the secret is a sensitive information that can be a traditional password, as we know, yeah, that can be a cloud access, or it can be an access token to use on API. It can be a certificate to authenticate on this scenario on this device, yeah. So any sensitive information you found that through the DevOps application are now summarized through this figure better now name it as a secret. So, and way up when you need to beat this villain is a secret management, like the SenhaSegura DevOps secret management we are launching today. Yeah, because you need it to happen, guys. Because for a secret, you need automated management and no more human beings provision putting their hand on password. Yeah, now everything has to be automated and management intelligently. So because you need a granularization by application, you no longer have to share any information, any secret, any password. An application can no longer share secrets and information with the other applications on the pipeline. In this scenario of a leaked or maybe on a scenario, attack scenarios, yeah, if each application uses its own secret, you decrease the attack surface, you decrease the attacker's era in expertise, yeah, and more than that, in a scalable university like we are today, you have multiple instances dynamically scaled in container environments, yeah. So it's so important that you can even more ensure that each instance of that application has its own secret. So guys, you also need a continuous rotation, because if for whatever reason that secret leaks. If the rotation is 1 minute or maybe a 5-10 minutes, yeah, that secret will no longer be valid. And why is it so important to you? In a classic university of on-premise data center, a credential to access a server or databases, they are restricted to that local network. Yeah. Now with the cloud environment, services and are in the cloud, perform in the cloud, applications perform in the cloud, they are all over the world. If data from a company, for example, in Brazil, for instance, is leaked, an attacker from anywhere in the world can have access to your Google Cloud platform or Amazon platform, yeah. And in this case, if you have this information, then access the database and access some critical services about your company, yeah. Because this you need a continuous rotation on the scenario, yeah. So it's important to have organization, rotation, and finally, just-in-time provision. So it's the least privileged policy. You will only create a secret or an access key for the application or an access to a service, yeah? You needed it, guys. When a new instance is born, for example, from the front end, you create just-in-time access to that instance with the minimum privilege it needed, and it use the access for the short time that instance is in the air. All right. So let's move on. The next stop is, so the second step. So we know our hero and villains and on these scenarios on DevSecOps journey. The second step is involve the development team in the mission. So here we even share on a personal journey, a job that I participate in none of our clients, yeah, and we saw the practical terms, the difficult that is for a security team to start deployment on a DevSecOps belt without the developer team being involved. Imagine what like this, to take a plan to another city or another state to attend a meeting with the developer team and the developer team not attending this meeting, yeah. And why did this happen? Why did our developer not interested in a meeting? Or maybe the developer team is a villain on this DevSecOps journey? No, that's not it, guys. Dev and DevOps culture, they are highly committed to the business. They know that code that we're programming now in a few hours will really be in production, and that will generate more business for the company. Yeah. This culture of DevOps is very strong, guys. It appears in all actions, from the development manager to programmers. So for a dev prioritizing a meeting to discuss DevSecOps in the process, he has to be very aware about this happening on these scenarios. He has to be called on the mission. Yeah? He has to buy the idea of the project and understand the putting security in the middle in this this process will not be a break. It's inverse. Not dev like see his application being exposed, his application become news. Yeah, this is so bad for a dev, for development team, and if we understand that the security teams is come together in this process, and together they will be able to make a whole belt safer. He will buy the idea about DevSecOps. Yeah, like this project that I was talking about. From the moment the development manager bought the idea and understood, he was the first ones to do. He wants given ideas. He want participate. He sent me a message, wait to know the status of the project. Yeah. So and said me, guys, let's do it. Let's do it so fast. Yeah. So the step number 2 of this journey is you really have a partner to start the journey. Yeah, and the step number 2 is get the devs involved on this process. So guys, move on. The step number 3 is making a map. Every journey needs a map. Otherwise, you don't know where you're going to go or paths you're going to take on this journey. Yeah, And this experience that SenhaSegura has collected from its customer together with its partners, yeah, helps to build this map here. So we brought some questions that are essential to build this journey map, and realize to answer these questions it's necessary to involve devs. Yeah, do you need to know about your applications, what your applications in your pipeline about DevOps? If you don't know what your applications, you can even start to build the map. You need to know about your applications. The second thing is are the tech leads for these applications, because the tech leads are the ones who know about the architecture, about this application. They know the components, they know where the secrets are hiding. They are the ones who will help you, the security team, to give this vision. Yeah, and each application, what their technologies that they use. For example, one application is using Java language, other applications use .NET or maybe a Python or PHP, yeah, which companies, third-party companies, using this application. DevOps has the security about early adopters early adopters on DevOps, yeah, of taking components that just come out. They are in a beta tester, but they are really running, so to promote a business benefit very fast on the scenario, yeah. And without dev at the table drawing this map, the security team will be blind. So guys, and the next thing is, what about pipelines? What about your pipelines? Each application has a pipeline. In this personal journey that I commented on, each application had a way of use. One application was in a perform in a GitLab, one another application was on a Jenkins. Yeah, if you can't map pipelines, you can never start. And so another point is, what are the necessary access? So if you really know the technologies, if you really know about the pipeline and the application, so let's find the famous secrets. And in this, SenhaSegura help you a lot. We have a scan discover, we have a scan DevOps, we have a scan Kubernetes secrets, we have a scan for example, another applications, for variables on GitLab, yeah. So we help in many ways where to find these secrets. We can build this map, but for cloud or for on-premise environment, yeah. And so the next step is the critical of the business dedicated to application. Without a business vision, now whether the application is a core business or maybe about this application is a test application, yeah, will not be able to prioritize. Let's start with the less critical application first, and then we expand and promote scenarios. Yeah, having this vision is important, and SenhaSegura has an exclusive dashboard on the market in that you can see this. You will be able to classify your applications by line of business, by credit size, by environment, yeah, and then you build this map in a visual way. And so guys, how big is the friction of application? Yeah, so we will have a park of legacy applications being born every minute. Yeah, hybrid applications. In some applications, you have to refactor the code. Each application will have a different friction to be able to enter in that universe about DevSecOps. This mapping must be also be done together with dev teams. So guys, follow our journey. With that vision, the next step in DevSecOps journey, the first thing is the new applications that are being created now. Let's make them born security by design. Yeah, we already know what my applications are, what my pipeline is. This pipeline is a critical application or maybe not. Yeah, and what is the access for this application? So we also know that SenhaSegura can discover my secrets, and that will promote a vision of this map, yeah, rotation, provision, just-in-time secrets. So we cannot let an application be born without this control are really built in this application. So, And for the applications that company already has, for my application that are already in production, now is our next step on this journey. Yeah, because it's slow down because I am in a hurry. So the DevSecOps journey is not overnight. We saw the complexity that is amount of tools, or the complexity is the whole park to use, yeah, and the entire DevOps environment. So for that, we have a clear recommendation based in our practical experience. So let's start with application with secrets exposed in pipelines, because you don't need to refactor this code. Wait a moment, please. So let's start with a range application, then forward this information, yeah, to gain security and experience on this journey, yeah. The hero of this journey will not be on SEC, the SEC team, the security team. The hero is the group advancing with the mapping on hand, is the gain with the, what is the gain that we can obtain step by step on this process, on this pipeline, on this journey, yeah. And so guys, once we passed this stage, we started to gain a little more speed, a little more experience and maturity in this process on these scenarios, yeah. At this stage, the experience brings learning to team itself. And so on this step, we already know how the teams interacts, how the team prepares this integration, and how the team delivers in a production. And this brings security, not only for the pipeline or for application, but mainly for the security people, for peoples, for teams, and for the culture along the SEC to work together with DevOps. This will leverage process. After making the entire pipeline safe, we removed our environment variables, we removed our credentials that are in the pipeline or variables on GitLab, yeah. Now is the time to start the refactor. Now we'll build time for the dev to shine. But for that, we need to have gone through this whole journey together with the security team. So he already knows the process, the dev team already knows people, the devs, he already safe about this scenario, this pipeline. He already knows that it works, yeah? And he knows that application has not lost performance. This is very important for the dev team. So he's safer to really start prioritizing refactor on your applications, yeah? That's where we say the dev has to be together in the SEC journey, in the DevSecOps journey. This journey is joint, guys. So step number 7 is the scalability of this model, yeah? Here, we have a release exchange hard code secret, variables in a GitLab or Jenkins or another tool, yeah? And he already made our models. I really have real case. He already have use case. I really have security case and success cases. Now just climb, guys. We already know how to do it. Now just put in a schedule to kill all applications that the company and has to keep them all safe in all scenarios, in all pipeline. So many applications have already served as a basis to these scenarios, yeah? They are really safer. The team is confident to use DevSecOps. Now it's time to make sure all applications are burned safe. Not leave any applications behind. Do not let an application be born without this process, without this concept, and zero out legacy applications. So guys, finally, we have reached our ultimate goal, yeah? And what is the end of this journey? Is the DevSecOps as a culture? Is the DevSecOps showing value for the business? Because security is also value for the business, because when the business goes down or there is a leak or a news, it appears on Twitter or another social media, social network, with liquid credentials or access key, it damages the business a lot. Yeah. So this culture of DevOps that arrive with strength and works. Now we will prove that DevSecOps also works. It's also possible. It does not harm the business. Yeah. On the contrary, it leverages the business. And this is a part of this journey. At this stage of this journey, it's a really the culture. Yeah, it's a really part of daily life of wholly the team, and it's so fantastic, guys. So getting to the end of this journey is motivating. It's motivating to go back to the beginning and talk it like this. Cool. What else can we gain security in this whole project? We have traveled this path in a few times, and we are very proud for us, SenhaSegura, and our partners to see the benefits these customers reap from this, guys. So it was my presentation. I hope you liked this journey. And that moment, it's open for questions.
Great, Diego. That's awesome. It's always a bit of a struggle, and we already have a few questions here that demonstrate that to how a company actually evolves, right? Like you just said, from having just a development team to actually implement a DevSecOps methodology in order to be able to be fast, to provide, and to keep up the pace with all, market's competitors to whatever it is that the company does, but also do it in a safe way. So it was awesome. It was awesome to see that there is actually a map that can, help out customers and companies to go through that journey without losing and wasting time. So as far as the questions goes here, Diego, we have two of them up until now. And the first one is related to I think the whole market itself. So the question is, if the DevOps, right, DevOps is limited to only manufacturers, or it could also be relevant to the finance and the service industry market. Do you think that, like, our partners here, they should aim and target only manufacturer companies, or they can also aim to any other companies such as finance or the services industry?
So it's a great question, because the DevOps is a culture, yeah. DevOps using in all scenarios, for example, e-commerce or a financial company, for example, e-banks, yeah. And it's not limited for that company. It's all scenarios. Do you need deliver your applications so fast? Yeah, the DevOps is to use so fast, deliver applications so fast, and you need to put security on this, yeah, at the middle on this to be your application more safe, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it makes sense. It feels like you just said, it feels like if you are developing anything, especially if you're doing it,
yeah,
related, if your development is related to technology, you should keep it safe. And it doesn't really matter where the industry is and what it is that you do, as far as you have a development process that includes secrets, you should be managing this in a safe way, right?
You're right.
Yeah, and I think this first question actually takes us to the second one. And the question here is, in the Middle East, since we are, like I said in the beginning, we're streaming here to more than 9 countries, different areas in the world, especially in the Middle East. The question here is they say that they're not yet with the DevOps culture in most of the companies. They have, development teams, and this is separate for operational teams. What they will see in the Middle East is that security teams and operation teams are often kept under the infrastructure unities of the companies over there. So while development teams, they remain in the enterprise applications unity. And it's not actually a question, it's more over a sort of a comment here, but I think trying to get what Gaston was trying to say here is that in the Middle East, although we have, development teams separated from security and operational teams, what they need to use a solution such as ours, as our DevSec, DevOps secrets management? And well, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, this is a Q3, guys, but you use this Q3 to deliver software more fast. But in case you have two areas, separate areas, yeah, and this company, for example, you need agile process, yeah, and this is a Q3 came out in the last years, for example, and you need more faster application, you need more faster process on your company to structure the DevOps Q3 or another agile Q3, for example, yeah, using the technology IT, yeah.
Yeah, it feels to me like this comment here, it's actually more like an opportunity, because if you have a development team that is separated, you can use a solution such as ours to actually start, suggesting that both teams are nowadays are working in separate areas. They will have a reason to actually start to integrate their daily basis activities once they implement security through a solution such as ours. So instead of being a problem, right? This actually sounds more like an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he answered here. Diego said that, yeah, he needs to create internally this roadmap and culture. So I think we got it from what you said.
Awesome.
So I think as far as questions goes, Diego, this is it for now. Yep. Thanks a lot for the presentation. It was great. I think there's a lot of things that anyone here can learn from it.
Thanks.
And we can move on to the final step, to the fourth part of our event here today. So I think we're moving now. Thanks a lot, Diego and Davison. Your turn, buddy.
So, hello guys. Let me share my screen here.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you see the screen? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Davison. Before you started here, you're asking here, we got a question asking us to explain what the DevOps business use case means. And if you could just give it a little bit of explanation what the use cases is and what we're going to show here, I think we'll help people here to understand what they're in for in the last phase of our conference here.
Okay, I'll go into that. So before, let me introduce myself. I'm Davidson. I am a product owner at the product team SenhaSegura, helping to develop the best products to increase security of our partners and our clients, okay? So today I'll talk about DSM. DSM we just released this year. It stands for DevOps Secret Management. And it's the model that we develop to help our partners and our customers to go through this exciting journey to DevSecOps. So first I'll talk a little about our product, how it works, how it is structured, and then I'll show you the use cases. So these use cases are actually practical use cases where our product helped our customer to increase security. So I'll show you the problem that the product was created, solved. I'll do a quick demo of our product, and then I just go through the workflow, the technical workflow of our product in this case, in these examples. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So cool. So before I start, Diego said earlier that the DevOps culture came from the necessity to help and support the business growth, the agility business growth. And with this need, the adoption of DevOps culture, so increase the complexity of the environments. So here we can see a common process of DevOps. So this process involves many tools. And as Diego showed before, there is a lot of tools, and each day we see new tools arising. So we have here some CI/CD tools where the applications are built and delivered. We have also some provision and configuration tools to configure and provision the infrastructure for the applications. We have some cloud providers and containerization tools in which the applications will actually run. And in order to work, this process to work, each of these tools, they need to communicate with each other. And in order to do that, they use what we call the secrets. So secrets are sets of sensitive information that this application used to authenticate with each other. So we can have some access keys, some sensitive variables, credentials, environment variables, and all this sensitive information, they are exposed in this environment if they are not managed correctly. So an attacker, if he has access to one of these sensitive information, he can compromise the entire environment and infrastructure. So there's a huge risk in having all these credentials exposed in the DevOps pipeline. So having that in mind, we came up with our model, DSM, to manage all these secrets. So how DSM solved this problem? DSM acts like a secret broker for these applications. So it's in the middle of this communication. And through API calls and automated plugins, it can discover all the secrets involved in this environment and then inject the secrets just in the time when this application needs to access the resources. So it handles the life cycle of these secrets and then inject the secrets to the applications to run. To better understand how it works, here is the architecture of our model. So with secret management, SenhaSegura can integrate to the multi-cloud providers and on-premise resources to provision and to rotate the credentials that application need to use. And with the API layer and automations, it can inject these secrets, avoiding them to be hard-coded or insecure. So the environment is secure. And why is that important? Why is it important to have this process and this security? So these are an important factor to reduce the time to achieve security maturity in DevOps. So security teams need to have visibility to make better and faster choices and decisions in order to evolve their environments. So that's when DevOps secret management helps. So the security teams only need to check one place, it is centralized in one place, and they have control of all over the environment. So to show this in practice, I'll show you two use cases where a big online retail company presented us, and we helped with our product to increase the security on their environment. So in the first scenario, we have a GitLab where the developer team used to build and deliver the application. And these applications were deployed on top of a Kubernetes infrastructure. And all the sensitive variables and information that this application will use were exposed inside the GitLab platform. And to solve this problem and to handle these exposed variables, the DSM model was in the middle of this process. And so at the moment of the deploy, the DSM will discover and intercept all the sensitive information and identify which one of them are really sensitive, and then will manage all the life cycle, removing them from the GitLab and then storing it in the vault, leveraging the PAM resources of SenhaSegura. And then at the moment of the deployment, the DSM would inject the secrets. So the secrets would be isolated and secure inside our model. Okay, so let's move ahead. I show here a quick demo of the scenario. Okay. So first here we have our application inside GitLab. So here the developers would create all the code for this application to run. And in order to the DSM to work in this scenario, the developer will just need to upload our runbrief plugin. So this is our plugin that will intercept the variables at the time of the deployment, and then post all the secrets and variables in our DSM model to be handled. Okay. So here we can see under settings CI/CD a section where the variables are stored. So here are all the variables that the application will use. And there are two problems here that we can already see. So here we have an AWS access key that this application will use to get the resources that it needs. And there are two problems here. First one, this variable is open, so it's in plain text. So any developer or person who has access to the GitLab could copy the secret and misuse it, and that is a huge risk for all the process. And the second one, these secrets are static; they are not managed, they are not being rotated. So if the developer or security team needs to change the secret, it will need to change it manually. So it a work that developer he doesn't need to have. So DSM come here to help at this process. Okay. So here we see our access ID key ID, and we can see here the application running. So this is an example of the application. It's using those secrets, so you can see here the access key. And at this moment, we can see that it's the same key. Okay. So at this moment, the DSM model is disabled. So this application is not being managed by SenhaSegura. So we can see we only have one application. This is not our application yet, so it is not being managed yet. And for this to happen, the developer will need to deploy this application. So he will come to a pipeline and run this pipeline. So at this moment, I just started schedule a job that will do a series of steps to deploy this application. So it will get all the dependencies, it will download all the files that this application needs. And in the middle of this process, our plugin will run and will intercept all those sensitive variables that I showed earlier. We'll post them into SenhaSegura so that SenhaSegura can manage the life cycle of those variables. Okay, so the job will just start in a minute, and you can see all the logs that the job will run. And these logs are for auditing, so we cannot see each step that the plugin is executed. Okay, so it will just start. So the deploy just started, and here we can see our plugin called Running Bell. It has started, it has requested all the authorizations, intercept the secrets, the variables, and posted them at the SenhaSegura. And here our plugin has requested successfully, and we will start the job. So the job was succeeded. So at this point, all these variables are already inside SenhaSegura. The developer didn't need to do anything, just to upload our plugin. And then all the sensitive variables were intercepted and posted on our DSM model. We can see the application here. Let's refresh again. So the DSM model is already enabled, and this application is already being managed by DSM. As you can see, our checkout, we have our checkout application being managed. And if we go back to GitLab, we can see that the sensitive and variables that were here are not here anymore. So the developer has no longer access to the sensitive variables. He can no longer misuse them, and it's protected by our model. And we can see here that this access key, if I need to rotate access key, I just schedule a rotation, and SenhaSegura will handle the change of this access key. So I'll schedule here the rotation. Okay, so here we already have version 2 of this variable. So we can see here the secret content. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so here we have our new access key. Let's just check with the current value. You can see that it's another access key. So SenhaSegura already went to AWS and requested another access key for this application. So in order for the application to use this new access key, the developer will need to run another job to deploy this application. So we will go again to the pipeline, and the process will be done all over again. So the GitLab will download all the files that this application needs to be deployed, and then the running belt will intercept again the variables and will insert the new access key generated inside the application. Start a minute. Okay, it started. So we can see the process running again. That doing all the steps that the developer defined. So here our running belt has started, requests all the tokens, intercept the variables, and posted them to the SM, and updated the access key inside the application. So let's just wait for it to finish. Okay, job succeeded. And then when we go back to our application, we can see that the access key just changed. It's the same value that we asked it to rotate. So just for us to understand what happened under the hood, here's the sequence of events that we just saw at the demo. So when the developer starts to deploy the application inside GitLab, the runB, our plugin, it intercepted this deployment and identified all the sensitive information involved in this process. And all the sensitive information were posted to the SM for it to manage all the secret lifecycle. With the secrets updated, it was provided back to the runB that updated these variables inside GitLab. And then GitLab finished the deployment of this application inside Kubernetes with the secrets that are managed on the SM. So we removed the secrets from GitLab where it was exposed, and we pushed the secrets into the SM where it is managed by the security teams with their policies, with auditing, with all the security resources that they need to ensure the security of this process. Okay, so moving on, the second case that were presented and DSM helped to increase security is with an application, an e-commerce application that it runs on top of a dynamic key environment. So here we see a Kubernetes infrastructure that will scale up or down this application according to the traffic of the end users. So when a big event and more users access the application, Kubernetes will scale up and start new instance of this application. So this application has availability. So what is the problem of this scenario? So if all the instance of this application uses the same secrets, if somehow an attacker compromises one of these instances and get the secrets, he will have access to all the infrastructure and he can compromise all the application. In order to change the secrets, the DevOps team will need to turn off the application, change all the secrets, and then turn on again. It is not good for the end users because it will compromise our availability. So that's when DSM step up to help increase security and keep the continuity of the business. So the DSM model, when Kubernetes needs to start another instance of the application, it will request an authorization for the DSM, and this authorization, it can authenticate with our model that will provision all the secrets for the resources that it will use. So in this case, it can isolate each one of this instance, and each one will have its own secrets. So if one of these instances is compromised, the other are isolated, so the attacker won't have access to the other one. So the team will need only to destroy the compromised instance, keeping the continuity of the business and the application. Okay, so I will show that in practice. Another quick demo here. So here we have our application already being managed by SenhaSegura. So in this dashboard, we have our business application, and we can see all the information regarding this application. So we can see that it's using 4 authorizations. So in this case, an authorization is a key for the application to identify itself with DSM. And it has 4 secrets and 4 access keys, one for each instance of this application. Here, we can see these 2 lens that is used to manage the Kubernetes infrastructure. Here, I'm using it for simulate the Kubernetes scale up and down our application. So we can see that our application has 4 instances already running. And each one of these instances has its own secret. So in AWS console, you can see the 4 access keys already provisioned for this application. So I'll simulate here an increase of traffic to this application. So at an event, let's see, for example, a Black Friday, when the traffic increases, Kubernetes will identify the need to more instances, and we will scale up this application. So I'll scale up here to 6 instances, and we already here 2 new instances being initializing. And the DSM model already intercepted and identified this event and provisioned the 2 secrets and 2 authorizations that this additional pods just requested. So we can see here the instance already running in the Kubernetes. Okay, so each one has its own identifier. Here we have already the 6 authorizations. Each instance has its own secret. Okay, and we can hear here in the dashboard that you can see how many authorizations by environment, how many authorizations by system, and by the time, how many authorizations were requested by hour. Okay, so we have all this centralized information. And here at the console, we can see that DSM already requested 2 new access keys for the application to use. Okay, so let's say that the application doesn't need doesn't need that much of instance, and the Kubernetes identified it needs to scale down. So I'll simulate the scale down to 3 instances here. And Kubernetes will terminate this instance. And as it is terminated, the 3 secrets that are remaining, they are no longer used. So to avoid that there are no used secrets in the environment, DSM identifies this event and then unprovision the secrets. So there will be no longer 6 secrets, but 3 secrets, one for each remaining pod, each remaining instance. Okay, so let's wait them to terminate. Terminating. Okay, so we see here only 3 instances left running. Okay, so the application is scaled down, and we see that DSM already intercept this situation and they provision the exceeding 3 secrets, and the AWS console, we only have the 3 secrets for the 3 remaining instances of this application. Okay, so again, showing the sequence of the events. So when Kubernetes identifies that it needs another instance, it will then trigger our init container that will request an authorization for DSM. So the authorization is the key that the application will use to identify itself. And while it requests the authorization, the DSM will provision the credentials at the resources that the application needs. So with the authorization at hand, the init container will send this authorization to the application, which will be used to fetch the secrets at the DSM model. So with the secrets, the application can then access the resource directly and do its work while it is still ready. So at the moment that this instance is not needed any longer, so the Kubernetes will then send to DSM an event saying, oh, this instance is not needed anymore. So the credentials that are being used by this instance will be deprovisioned. So there are no non-used secrets on the environment, increasing the security of all the environment. Okay. So to summarize here, we can see all the benefits that the product delivers. So we have visibility of all the applications that are running in the environment. So as Diego pointed out, one of the steps on the map is to have visibility of all the applications, so the team knows where to act and how to act. A centralized secret management, so the security team just need to access one place and you have control of all the environment. We have dashboards focus on the business, so the security team can make faster decisions to better the business, to improve the business decisions. And the tool, our product is easy to integrate with the DevOps and cloud provider tools, so we can keep up with the market trends and keep our portfolio up to date. And also we support legacy applications and hybrid environments for those companies that are starting to change to DevOps, so we don't leave anyone behind. And with our experience, we can help our partners to reduce the time to reach security maturity in DevSecOps. And all of that already exists in our SenhaSegura product, in our PAM product. So everything is integrated. For those who already are customers, they just need to activate the DevOps model, and you have all the benefits that our secret management can provide. Okay, so this is it, guys. That was the demo of the DSM. So now I open you for questions. So feel free to ask.
Thanks a lot, Davidson. It's great to be able to understand the market itself and what is it that actually a DevOps methodology actually means, and how goal-wise everything is evolving so fast. And after seeing a map of how to get from 0 to 10 as far as having your own DevOps team inside the company, we can now see a solution that actually is being used by those teams to increase and embrace a security by design type of approach. So I think with you, we kind of close that journey of, understanding that there is a situation and knowing a solution that can actually address all of those challenges. So thanks a lot for that. We haven't had any questions yet here regarding the demo yet, but I do have a question for you. As I was seeing you presenting the demo, you pointed out, several variables that the DSM module can address, and also a few applications that the solution itself can manage. But I was wondering, is there a limitation? Is there a limit of variables that DSM can manage? And also, is there a limit for application, or is the solution can handle, as many as any company may need?
Well, we designed the product to help the companies to secure all the environment. So we didn't set a limit for the amount of variables or tools that are managed. So the company may have as many secrets as they need. So the DSM is capable of securing the environment. So we don't have a limit for secrets or tools. We can help them to secure the way they are.
Well, that's great. So it's good for small business to, big size companies.
Yes.
As far as you have secrets, we're good to go.
Yes.
Now that's great. Let me see here. I think we might have a question. Well, Gassens is actually saying that the demo is great. So good job, Davidson. We will need a better visibility on legacy system behaviors versus the flow of secrets and management of DSM, especially with traditional ERP systems running on Oracle on-premises and etc. Yeah, I think we can, write this down and make sure that you especially guys, can have a better look into the DSM functionalities to cover the other side of this visibility that you just talked about here. Are you able to see the comment here, Davidson, as well?
Yes. Thank you, Yasin. Yes, we showed today a demo with a customer of ours that already has some modern tools. So we can show if you need the integration with legacy systems. We are able to manage the secrets, and I'm sure we can show if needed. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I think with that question, and as the time is, we're running out of time here, we managed to cover everything that we intend to since the beginning, and the time that we intend to as well. So I think we're done for today, right, Davison?
Yes.
All right.
We're done.
So
thank you, guys,
everyone for joining our digital conference here. It's been a pleasure, and we hope that you enjoyed the content itself. We try to approach a bit of every segment and of information regarding DevSecOps challenges and how we can address them. The content of the conference itself has been recorded, and it will be sent to everyone that has registered for the conference. And if you would like to know more about the DSM module, you can just use your phone here with our QR code, or just access our website at marketing.senhasegura.com.br/DSM. At our website, you'll find more information regarding the module, our DevOps Secrets Management module. And we're always here to support you through our partnership program with our partners all over the globe. So if you have any questions, just reach out to one of our partners or to SenhaSegura at our website, senhasegura.com. All right? So thanks a lot for your time, and we hope to see you again in our next digital conference. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, everyone. Ciao, Gassan.